What's going on, everyone? Dom from the Game Looters here, and today we're diving into a game that's been locked away in the PS2 vault for well over a decade. Thank you and big shout out to Atlus for early access to Raidou Remastered, the mystery of the Soulless Army. I definitely appreciate them, and one thing to note is this is not your typical re-release. This seems to be just beyond the complete remaster. Now, yes, we did get a code from Atlus, which we really appreciate, but all thoughts in this review are entirely my own. Also, to keep things clean and make sure that there's no spoily stuff, all the gameplay footage you're going to see is going to be from the first 5 hours of the game. So buckle up, we're going back to the Taisho era in Tokyo demon style. Now, here's the thing. When Atlus announced this remaster, my gut reaction was, wait, really? Finally? Raidou's been like that cool uncle who shows up in DLC outfits and crossover content, but never actually gets invited to the party. Now, after being stuck on the PlayStation 2 and the half-broken PlayStation 3 store for way too long, he's back on with the full remaster. And it's not just a resolution bump either. We're talking combat revamps, quality of life overhauls, and the kind of polish that actually respects the legacy that they put here. Now, in all transparency, I did not play the original. This has been a game that's been on my wish list for forever. It's just been way too expensive to get into, and going back to play it on the PlayStation 2 is a little bit rough, you know? But this is finally one that I'm so happy it made its way into modern day in 2025. So happy about it. Now, the story of Raidou. It is set in a slick, supernatural Tokyo during the Taisho era, which is one of my favorite, by the way. As the newest devil summoner to inherit the name Raidou Kuzunoha, specifically the 14th, it's not just a name, it's a responsibility. And this version of Tokyo has no shortage of cursed mysteries, shady government, and demonic conspiracies waiting for you to solve. You work under Narumi, your detective boss, and alongside Gauto, a demon cat companion with more sass than Morgana ever dreamed of, things kick off when a frantic girl named Kaya begs you to end her life. Yeah, I know, it starts off freaking crazy. And then immediately she gets kidnapped. As one does, of course. But from there, it spirals into a much bigger plot that traps political unrest, secret organizations, and all the demon chaos we love from the Megaten universe. The story doesn't hold your hand either, which is really cool. It throws you deep into the lore and expects you to swim. Honestly, I love that. The third act especially hits really hard, and it hits harder than I even expected. While there are minor NPCs, which are mostly, you know, I mean, they're not the main cast, but they're around. It really does kind of involve and evolve the main cast, Narumi, Gauto, and Tai the journalist. All these three specifically bring a lot of charm, and the NPCs just end up adding depth. You, silent protagonist or not, Raidou ends up feeling like a boss. Even if he doesn't speak, he kind of has that Link, I don't even know how you say it. He has like that Link aura to him to where, like, even if he didn't speak, you know what he's saying, if that makes sense. All while holding his katana. Now, the gameplay. This is from PS2 to modern, okay? They made some big changes here. Let's get out the way, though. The original game's combat was kind of stiff. Again, not from my point of view, but I did do a little bit of research, and it just seems like a lot of folks just didn't like the gameplay very much. It was really rough around the edges, but the remaster, I could have never tell you that it was rough around the edges before, because to me, it was awesome. They took improvements from Raidou 2 and actually backported them into the first game, and then went even further than that. You can now control Raidou in real-time action combat along two demons. And again, a reminder, I didn't play the one before, so I can only comment on what it was based on others' experiences, not my own. But all I know is this new combat style is awesome. Like, it ended up feeling like Persona 5 Strikers to me. Even though that's a Musou game, it just felt just right. I feel like that's what they got here. Anyways, I don't want to get off topic. Your attacks end up generating a magnetite, or MAG for short. We'll just call it MAG going forward, which is going to end up fueling your demon allies, their abilities, and more. Balance with this system is key. You're going to use light attacks to build MAG, heavy attacks for damage, and then skills for that sweet elemental exploitation, which, if you've played any of the Shin Megami Tensei or Persona games, you know that it's all about the elements, baby. You've got loadouts, passive and active skills, and the ability to swap abilities in and out during combat. And you can even hot swap your demons on the fly, which I really loved because I was using all kinds of demons. You want Raidou to end up playing like a lightning fast support mage with a gun, which is exactly what ends up happening. If you want to end up going like full tank spear wielder with demon nukes, you can also do that. There's even a slick spirit sword super move that charges fast the more aggressive your combos are. It changes elemental based on the enemy, so depending on the enemy is going to change the element. And it's always going to freaking hit hard. So if they're take a lot of damage to wind, it'll change to wind, lightning, etc., etc. It feels a little broken, but in the best way possible, dude. I felt like super OP. I'm like, yeah, I am the demon slaying god. And also there is another move called Devil's Bane. It is like a cinematic counter, or like if you do a perfect dodge, it ends up kind of giving you the option to push Y and B. Again, I play on the Nintendo Switch too, so that's what it was on my controller. Might depend on yours. The timing for this takes a little bit to get used to, but when you nail it and you can figure out how to continually nail it, it feels awesome. Now, the demon stuff. Demon negotiation, not quite, but we do have what they call demon confinement. As long as you're the right level, you can pretty much capture any demon mid-battle with one button. It's fast, it's smooth, and it keeps the pacing up, especially since this is an action RPG as opposed to the standard turn-based stuff. Fusion also happens in a place called the Gomaden. And while it's not as deep as the recent Shin Megami Tensei 5 or even the most recent Persona, it's still a lot of fun. And I mean a lot of fun. One of my favorite things to do is complete my compendium, but here it's called the Devil Chart. So if you're a completionist like me, you might feel a little like it's not as good, but you can still get all the stuff you want here. You can also bring two of the same demon into your battles, so you can give your demons all the control, and you can also give them commands to mid-battle. You can also store multiple builds in the premium chart. So you have like, you know, where you can do in the other Persona games or SMT games where you can basically log them and pay a fee to get them back. Well, you can log multiple different versions of them in your premium chart. So it has a lot of flexibility when it comes to all the demon stuff. A lot. Exploration. So there's a lot of modern upgrades here. First, there's no more random encounters, which apparently there was in the past game, which I hate random encounters. Instead, you can see all of your enemies now. Second, fast travel is everywhere, and it's going to save a ton of time. I personally love the fast travel system, and you can pretty much get all over the map. It very much gave me the SMT5 vibes, which I really love. Demon-filled skills let you interact with environments to read NPC emotions, read their minds, etc. And it adds like a light puzzle-solving ability to certain towns and dungeons too. It's not super deep, but it does make exploring feel really immersive, and it rewards you for going deeper than just A to B. There's also a mini-map and objective markers that make progression really smooth. Purists, though, might miss the old figure-it-out-yourself charm. Again, like I said, in getting prepared to write this, I went in, and apparently before, it was kind of just like, you just figure stuff out, and that just means that you're getting lost and wasting time for no reason. So this minimap stuff is awesome, and it's the perfect fit, and if I never played the other one, which I didn't, I couldn't tell you if it was missing or not. So at the end of the day, I think we all have too many games in our backlog to be wasting hours on end on just figuring out where to go next. The visuals. So the visuals, they completely rebuilt this from the ground up. They rebuilt the environments that were previously stagnant before in full 3D, and they preserved the fixed camera angles and layouts of the original. So it still feels like PS2, just super sharp, super clean, super bright, really, really good. Characters look good, and demons look awesome. There's also a new UI. It is clean and readable, and on Switch 2, which is where I played the game, it ran fantastic. Graphics look awesome. It's 4K, 60, all the good stuff, and it looks amazing in handheld as well. So whether you're going to be playing on Switch 1, PlayStation 5, Xbox, wherever, you know this is going to be looking fantastic. Of course, it's not Demon's Souls remake, anything like that. It's not like these other, remake games, even like Persona 3 Reload, but there was a lot of love and attention by the devs here, and it feels like a modern PS2 game, but in the best way possible. Voice acting in this soundtrack. The soundtrack is just the most amazing, jazzy, just like it's funky and in the best way. It's stylish, it's moody, and it's pure Atlus. There's also an addition of voice acting here that brings the cast to life. The dub is just freaking awesome. And if you compare it to like Nocturne HD, where the voices felt like they were tacked on, this does not. They sound amazing. There is also the voice actor for Gauto, and honestly, they sound freaking amazing. And this is gonna be the voice you hear the most often, but that deep tone is awesome here. Anyways, the dub is absolutely fantastic, and the music hits always. Whether you're just exploring, whether you're in battles, whether you're in combat, no matter what, the music just feels on par at all times. And then the voice acting on top of it, this is my not opinion, but this is my like feedback to every developer out there. Spend the time to do the dub, and your consumers, your customers will reward you with buying the game. This is top-notch stuff here. Sound and voice acting, 10 out of 10, baby. All right, here's my final thoughts, guys. Raidou Kuzunoha Remastered isn't just a, hey, remember this old thing that came out a long time ago? This is instead Atlus refining, going back to the drawing board, getting the combat right, visuals right, fixing pacing, adding quality of life stuff, and making this game accessible for a whole new generation of people and a whole new audience. If you've been a Megaten fan, forever, then of course this is the game for you. If you're new to Atlus, this is the game for you. And if you're just a JRPG fan, this is the game for you. If you've never played Raidou like me, then this is the perfect game to jump into. Of course, this game is going to cost you $50 and is only a remake of the first Raidou, not the second. But regardless, this is well worth beyond the asking price. Over here at the Game Looters, we're giving Raidou Kuzunoha a 9 out of 10. Raidou Kuzunoha is back and better than ever. It's not a cameo, it's not a costume. He's the main character, and I hope that they take the success of this and they end up making the second game a remaster as well. Go out and buy this game. Don't believe me? Go check out other people's reviews and then come back and let me know what you think. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I appreciate you being here. Go buy Raidou Kuzunoha on any platform. Peace.